Welcome back to the Resilient Philosopher. This is the León Dantes, and today's episode is about what we consider success and wealth. I recently came across in social media a comment and a post of somebody calling out another person not successful based on their wealth. And that really made me think, what do we consider success and what do we base it on? Because to base it on wealth, by definition, then a con artist would be successful because the more money he steals, the more successful he is. Then a thief, which con artists are thieves, any thief that steals money after X amount of money, then he's successful as well. So if we're measuring success based on wealth, then we have a really big amount of successful people. And to me, that just doesn't seem right. I personally, my point of view on wealth is based on what we leave behind, not in money, monetarily, not in luxuries like, you know, jewels, properties, stuff like that. No. To me, wealth is the knowledge that we leave behind for our kids and for the next generation. How do we make it to become successful? And success to me is measured by the wealth we leave behind and knowledge and helping others to become successful. So when I hear people think that wealth and success or success is based on wealth, I should say, really just doesn't make sense to me. We can look at so many aspects. I mean, if if I am concentrated on being successful based on my wealth, then I could literally go out there and try to ruin everybody else's life in order for me to find success and wealth. And if you look at it, that is one of the biggest issues that we're having in the corporate world today. That's one of the biggest issues that we're having in politics and leadership all around the world is that people are so focused on measuring their success and their wealth that they lack empathy. They lack the ability to recognize that the world does not go around them, that the sun does not go around them, orbits around them. That is the problem. You want to talk about entitlement? Entitlement is also part of that mentality of, well, I'm only successful if I become wealthy. Why? Some of the most successful people have not been wealthy. As a matter of fact, some of the most successful people have died in poverty. You know, Edgar Allan Poe, for example, he was not wealthy and he died in a bench in Baltimore. Yet, one of the most prestigious awards you can get is the Edgar Allan Poe Award for writers. And that's just one of the many examples of people that did not seek for wealth, and yet they were successful because their message came through. Their ideas, their philosophy came through. And that is more important than any monetary. You see what happens? The dollar value goes out the window, your wealth, you might as well burn it in the fire pit. If you go after gold and silver, well, guess what? Bitcoin is becoming big. If Bitcoin becomes big tomorrow, then your gold and silver goes right out the window. It's trends. They are trends. They're they're balloons that come throughout history. And once the balloon gets way too big and it explodes, all economic system based on that balloon goes right out the window. So how are you going to measure your success? Are you really going to measure your success based on your wealth? Because if that is the case, you will never be truly successful because there's always the ability of gaining more wealth. As I mentioned this before, and I'll mention it again. My brother one time told me, I just wish I feel what it was like to make $1 million. Now he was running, or he is running a successful business, and I was working with him. And I said, brother, the problem with knowing what it's like to make $1 million is that you're gonna want to learn what it's like to make two. And you'll never be satisfied with knowing how much you made when you know you can make more. And he's not a materialistic person. He does share his wealth with his family, his friends. He has helped me tremendous amount of times. So it's not like he's focused on wealth, but it is easy to fall for measuring our success based on our wealth. It is easy to happen to anybody at any given time. This is not a criticism. This is more like a wake up call. Do not measure your success based on your wealth. Measure your success based on how well you have helped others live and survive and acquire knowledge. If you want to see another example of why wealth does not equal success, look at the billionaire. You can compare Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk. All four are billionaires. Warren Buffett has kept a very quiet life in comparison. You have never heard any stories of him buying aircraft to go into space or multi-billion-dollar yachts or anything like that. He has kept a very modest life. He has just found success on what he's good at because he likes what he does and he likes giving the knowledge away so other people can be successful and become wealthy on their own. Bill Gates have done pretty much the same, but he's been more noticeable and more known due to his recent ties and his divorce and throughout history of Microsoft, his in and outs with controversies. But yet, if it wasn't for Bill Gates, we wouldn't have Apple. When Apple was in dire needs of money, Microsoft was the one who bailed them out and helped them become profitable again. Then you have Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos used to be a really down to earth guy. Then, out of nowhere, he gets with this woman that I honestly don't know what he sees on her, but that's just my personal taste. And then now, all of a sudden, his money has gone to his head about going out of space. He's completely untouched with humanity, with the common man. And he has become this obsessed person pursuing money, pursuing pursuing things that equate to what he thinks success is, like literally going in space. Meanwhile, you got your workers working like robots, and you're trying to replace them with automation, but the automation doesn't work because you're not willing to spend money and proper infrastructure, even though you're running a cloud-based system called AWS that is perhaps one of the best cloud systems in the world, but your automation doesn't work. It's just unreal how untouched with reality Jeff Bezos is. And then you have Elon Musk. Elon Musk is a creature of his own, and he's probably from Mars. He's probably completely an alien from another planet because he's so untouched with reality that is insane. To even try to comprehend him, you will have to go into insanity and back and again. Because what he says, the way he says it, is completely untouched with reality. And the way he speaks in itself, I don't know if he's stuttering or if he's trying to convince himself of what he's saying so that it makes more sense as he's saying it. I have no idea what's wrong with him. But if you tell me that you're going to measure your success based on your wealth, like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos, I am sorry to tell you that is the most wrong and disgusting way of thinking ever. Because all those men are going to be remembered through history is their tyranny, is their inability to find empathy in humanity, empathy in others, and love for themselves. Would they talk about Warren Buffett? Yes. Would they talk bad about Bill Gates? Yes. Would they talk about anybody with wealth? Yes. Yes. Unfortunately, a lot of people are envying. And personally, I'm one of those that believe I don't need you to give me money. I need you to teach me how to make money. See, to give money away to people is not going to necessarily make them successful. No, I've said this before. When you give money away to people and they're addicts, you're just giving them a ticket to commit overdose. So, no. Point is, teach people how to become successful. Give them the opportunity to make themselves successful, and wealth will come with it. But you don't need to have $300 billion to be wealthy. You don't need to have 220 billion or 10 billion or 6 billion. No, you can be wealthy with $60,000 a year if it covers your expenses and you get to spend time with your family and friends and enjoy life as it is. If you consider your success and the wealth accumulated by others, comparing yourself to others, and chasing that money every single day, you will never truly find happiness and success. Because look at those two last billionaires. They are top five on the list of the most wealthy men, and they're still trying to make more money. That means in their eyes, they're still not successful enough because they're still trying to make more money. And you would think if you made the pinnacle of your success based on your wealth, by now you would have said, okay, I've made enough money. I'm done. I'll let the next ones make the rest. That is insane, completely insane. And it's up to you. How you want to measure your success is up to you. Personally, I'd rather find success in what I leave behind in knowledge, what I leave behind in love and memories with my family and friends, and the amount of money in my bank account. Either way, when I die, that money's not going to go with me. When I die, the richer I am, the bigger chances of my family fighting over the money. When I die, the government is going to take a cut out of the money that I made after taxing me all my life and inheritance tax to my family. So, hey, by all means, go ahead. You want to give your money away to the people that didn't actually do anything for you to gain it? By all means, go ahead. If you want to leave your money to your family that you basically bought things for them all their life, they never learned how to make money on their own and become successful because you decided that there was no need for them to learn how to become successful because you were successful, then by all means, you are not really leaving any wealth. They will throw it away and nothing will come by. But if you teach your family, your employee, how to become successful, how to find their own wealth, and what it should mean to them, then your own wealth won't matter. Whether you leave it to them, leave it to the dog, it won't matter because they will have their own ways of making their own money. So I guess what I'm trying to say is to not follow the ideology that you need to, sorry for the word, I usually don't like using words like this, but you don't need to screw over everybody in your life in order to find success by equating it to wealth. You don't have to do that. You can be a teacher making $60,000 a year and be successful in seeing your students graduate and become successful themselves. You can be successful by being a great nurse, a great doctor, which will never make $1 million in a year, but will be enjoying their job. As soon as you put wealth, value into your success, your humanity goes out the window, your empathy for humanity goes out the window, and you're as good as an AI, you're as good as a robot, because the only thing you are calculating is how much money you can put in the bank. But that's just my own personal opinion. I would like to know what you guys think about it. What's your opinion on it? Leave us comments. You can visit our website, visionleon.com, and read the article that accompanies this episode. It will be out tomorrow. And you can leave your comment there as well. Personally, I want to thank you all for listening to the podcast. And together, we can make a difference. Together, we can open our eyes to the reality that it's not up to God, it's not up to wealth, it's up to us as humans with empathy and love for one another to actually make a difference in the world today. Just remember, live with resilience, keep on fighting, and always show up for yourself. This is León Dantes. Until next time, take care.